Hello, this is Neil again, and welcome to Article Reading for Juniors. Today we're going to talk about this article about Lincoln's yarns and stories, and select a few questions and talk about what the right answers are and why they're right. So this article was basically about how Abraham Lincoln, the president, told stories really well, and how he was a funny guy that used his sense of humor to make friends and to become more successful. So we're going to look at question number 2 first, which is a question that requires you to read a little more than just the sentence that is quoted. So it says, when Lincoln was young, people in Illinois were known for being blank, right? As always, make it into a real question with a real question mark at the end. So what were people known for in Illinois when Lincoln was young? So the answer is going to be around line 10. Let's look. Back then, Illinois had very little culture or entertainment. Those who lived there had to rely on storytelling to have a good time. So people enjoyed storytelling. These stories may not have been refined, but they were not vulgar either. Now, what does vulgar mean and what does refined mean? Because that's where the answer lies. Refined means sophisticated. It means like fancy. It means something high level. Like refined sugar is the whitest of white sugar, whereas the brown sugar, which is a little less processed, is not refined sugar. So refined means like high level, very, very sophisticated. Now, vulgar means low level, like unsophisticated, kind of rude even. So the story is telling us that people in Illinois were not vulgar, but they were definitely not refined. So look for an answer that means like unrefined. Cultured means the opposite. It means refined. So, and it also says that Illinois had very little culture, so it's probably not A. What about B? Disgusting. Now it says they're not vulgar, and vulgar is kind of a disgusting word, so you'd probably get rid of B too. Fancy is similar to cultured. It means refined, and it says they're not refined, so we can get rid of that too. The last one is informal, and that means not very formal, not very, they don't follow the rules of polite society, and that's what you're looking for. So click D and get it right. Now, the next one we're going to look at is number 4. This one is a question where you have to figure out the meaning of a phrase. So on line 40, the phrase "with his heart on his sleeve" probably means what? So what does "with his heart on his sleeve" mean? Now if you've heard that before, you know, and if you haven't heard it before, you have to use the article. So go to line 40, and always check, even if you think you know. Go to line 40, which is right here. Let's see. Later in life, Lincoln used stories to lighten his mood during dark times. Many times during the Civil War, he would speak to me with his heart on his sleeve about the sorrows of America. As he spoke of his country's suffering, it seemed like his face couldn't get any sadder. So how does Lincoln sound in these sentences? It sounds like he's in dark times, like he is sorrowful, like he's sad, talking about suffering. Those are all sad words, right? So with his heart on his sleeve probably means something like sad or emotional or something like that. So look at the answer choices. Bloodily, no. Hearts do pump blood, but here it's talking about emotions, not blood. Oh, emotionally, that's probably your answer, so you click on that. But read the others. Jokingly, no, he sounds sad here. Now later he will be telling jokes at the end of the paragraph. Lines, 42 through 46, but at the beginning he's definitely not in a gleeful, happy mood. And without emotion is wrong too, because he definitely seems sad here, right? So emotionally is definitely right, and let's move on to number 8. Now this is a tone question, and people have trouble with tone questions sometimes because they require you to understand what the article's about and sort of how the characters in the article feel. Okay, so when you go to that, go to line 17 right here. Here is an example of one of Lincoln's favorite stories. One day, Lincoln was surprised when a scary man thrust a gun in his face. "What seems to be the matter?" Lincoln asked. with as much self-possession as he could muster. And then it goes on. But so how does Lincoln answer his question? It says with self-possession. So self-possession means like you're kind of in control of yourself. So you'd probably look for an answer that means something like in control. So what is his tone? Is he calm? Calm, in control? That sounds like it's probably right. Let's click on that. Furious means super angry. He doesn't sound super angry. When you're super angry, you're not in control. Happy? It doesn't say he's happy. It does say he's calm. He's self-possessed, but he's probably not happy. In fact, someone's putting a gun in his face, so I wouldn't be happy. Would you? And then terrified. Now, you might expect someone to be terrified here, but it says he does it with self-possession, which means he's in control. So even though you might be scared when there's a gun in your face, Lincoln was calm when he spoke, even though he probably was secretly terrified underneath. But his words were calm. And that's the end of today's tutorial. I hope to talk to you soon, and I look forward to helping you get more questions right at Article Reading for Juniors. Have a nice night.